The frugal habits of the wealthiest billionaires. Many a time, we tend to think that billionaires live a flashy and extravagant lifestyle, driving luxury cars and living in posh estates. But it's surprising that some billionaires have many frugal habits and tend to live just like any other ordinary person. From living in a simple home for over 30 years to driving a simple car, here are the top billionaires with the most frugal habits. Be sure to watch the video till the end to find out. Carlos Slim. Carlos is among the world's wealthiest billionaires with a net worth of $79.9 billion. But despite having all that wealth, he enjoys his simple lifestyle. Instead of spending his huge fortune on a nice car and a driver, Carlos prefers to drive himself in an old Mercedes-Benz to and from work. The 82-year-old billionaire also has lived for over 40 years in the same 6-bedroom house in Mexico, where he has raised his children and grandchildren. As a man who loves to reinvest every single penny he has, Carlos is known to avoid luxury at all costs. The Mexican business mogul regularly enjoys sharing home-cooked meals with his children and grandchildren, and this, he says, helps him to save a lot on expenditure. And even though he once bought an $80 million mansion in Manhattan, sources have it that Carlos is looking to sell it. Charlie Ergen. With a net worth of $10 billion, Dish Network CEO Charlie Ergen is also another man who maintains several frugal habits. The 69-year-old is known to carry to the office his packed lunch, prepared by his wife daily. Charlie recently surprised many when he didn't hesitate to share a single room of a hotel with his colleagues during a business tour. Well, for a man who acquired financial literacy as early as 7 years old and turned himself into a self-made billionaire, you probably will expect such far-fetched frugality. But to Charlie, all thanks go to his grandmother, who taught him the frugal lifestyle, which has seen him join the Billionaires Club. John Caldwell. Billionaire cell phone retailer John Caldwell has maintained frugal habits since his youthful years. Caldwell, who's the CEO and founder of British cell phone company Phones for You, is comfortable living a lifestyle that's similar to that of any ordinary person. In fact, he did not stop buying orange juice from happy shoppers even after becoming a billionaire. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. John Caldwell is set to cut his hair as well as wear simple clothes. He once told Forbes that he doesn't need Savile Row suits. Now, that's amazing to hear from a man who could even buy the most expensive suit ever made and feel no pain. Amancio Ortega. Amancio Ortega is worth $68 billion. The Spanish billionaire businessman is the founder and former chairman of Inadex Fashion Group, a company that's renowned for its chain, Zara clothing and accessory shops. However, despite his huge wealth, his spending habits still depict what you'll expect of an ordinary person. With his huge wealth that can afford him a quiet mansion on a private island, Ortega instead prefers to live in an apartment building in La Coruña, Spain. He is known to frequently spend time with his employees in the company's cafe shop, where he also takes his lunch along with his employees. And like Mark Zuckerberg, the Spanish fashion tycoon also maintains simple uniforms, consisting of a blue blazer, a white shirt, and gray trousers, which he wears every day. David Cheriton. David Cheriton is a Canadian computer guru and full-time scholar who has invested over $50 million in several startups. But despite being a billionaire, Cheriton enjoys keeping his lifestyle simple, saving money from any point where he finds a loophole for wastage. For a man worth $11.4 billion, we could probably expect to see him yachting and living large. That's not the case for David Cheriton. He still works 12 hours and behaves as if nothing has changed. You'll be surprised that Cheriton even saves his meals for the next day whenever he buys from an expensive restaurant. According to him, food is the greatest source of wasting money, and that's why he's always cautious when it comes to food expenditure. Indeed, Cheriton is a humble man, and he's not afraid to show that virtue by wearing simple clothes and riding on his bike to the office. He only uses his old Honda sedan or Volkswagen when there's a need for a vehicle. But even still, Cheriton is known to reuse his tea bags as a perfect way of saving on his expenditure. Asim Premji. Asim Premji is one of the richest people in India. He has $10.3 billion in net value, and his commitment to building great IT companies has earned him the moniker Czar of the Indian IT industry. The 76-year-old has a huge fortune, but that has not stopped him from maintaining a simple lifestyle, living like any ordinary Indian. You'll occasionally find him hiring a rickshaw from the airport to his home in Bangalore. As a rule of thumb, Premji never buys luxury cars, but instead drives used automobiles. Also, Premji is comfortable with budget flights and does not travel in business class, despite being a great businessman. Sources have it that Asim always reminds his employees to turn off the lights at work as a way of saving on the electricity bill. Mark Zuckerberg. If you ever thought that the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, spends his money lavishly, then you are wrong. With a net worth of $78.4 billion, Zuckerberg lives quietly with his wife Priscilla Chan and their little daughter in a simple house worth only $7 million. And the family is occasionally found eating at McDonald's. Zuckerberg is so frugal that he wears simple t-shirts and jeans during his working time at the office. He has even been open about his modest t-shirt, hoodie, and jeans, saying the uniform helps reduce time wasted at the wardrobe thinking about what to wear. He drives a modest car worth less than $30,000 called the Volkswagen GTI with manual transmission. The 37-year-old has sacrificed a luxury life and instead donates a huge portion of his wealth. Warren Buffett. Berkshire Hathaway chairman and CEO Warren Buffett is worth $115.4 billion in net value. The Oracle of Omaha, as he came to be named, is one of the world's wisest and frugal billionaires. According to his 2009 biography, despite his reputation as one of the world's wealthiest individuals, he still lives in the same modest house he bought for $31,500 in 1958. The home covers 6,570 square feet and is furnished with 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Also, Buffett doesn't carry even a single cell phone or have a computer at his desk, and at one point had a vanity license plate that read, "Thrifty." Interestingly, Buffett picks up his old friend Bill Gates from the airport when he visits Omaha instead of sending a taxi to pick up his friend. Buffett has a planned lightweight diet where he sticks to his daily diet of 5 drinks of Coca-Cola and 2 potato chips. Buffett once stated at his annual shareholder meeting in 2014 that the amount of money he owns has no bearing on his quality of life. Bill Gates. Unlike Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, Gates is a great philanthropist who has invested millions of dollars in developing the COVID-19 vaccine and billions of dollars in education. According to Forbes, Gates, who founded Microsoft in 1975, is now worth $130.7 billion. Gates has a reputation for frugality. He wears a simple wristwatch worth only $10 and is fond of old-fashioned clothes. But Gates will surprise you that he even washes plates for his family after dinner. Recently, Gates took a rare move to spend a whopping $43 million for the purchase of a house in California. Jeff Bezos. With a net worth of $179.2 billion, just about anyone would expect Jeff Bezos to enjoy the most luxurious life. But contrary to that, Jeff Bezos is a down-to-earth, frugal man. Though the Amazon founder and CEO is among the world's wealthiest persons, he was still driving a simple Honda Accord in 2013. While driving his Honda Accord, Jeff Bezos was not afraid to tell Bob Simon in a 1999 60 Minutes interview that his Honda was a perfectly good car. Earlier, Bezos used to drive a 1987 Chevrolet Blazer. He used the car to deliver packages to the post office when Amazon was still young. So, that was it for today, guys. The frugal habits of the wealthiest billionaires. And as we've seen, most billionaires live a simple life that no one could imagine. If you were in the shoes of these billionaires, how different would you spend your billions? Let us know in the comments below.